Hello everyone, awesome one with you today, and I wanted to talk to you about the device that you use to play the game. All of us love to play PUBG Mobile, and the beauty of mobile version is that you don't have to spend like 1500 bucks on a PC that can work for Steam version of the game. And another benefit of the mobile version is that you are able to play literally anywhere. You can go on your porch, sit on your bed, in the kitchen, or in the public transport. Doesn't matter. You can win that chicken dinner. But there are a few things that can be on your way to that chicken dinner, and one of them is the frame rate. So the more frame rate you have, the better chances of you actually seeing the enemy first, doing this first hit with damage, and actually winning the fight. And not all devices are able to support extreme frame rate on the game. Like for example, I was using an iPhone 7 Plus before that one, and I was able to go all the way to Ultra, and that's it. I'm gonna put on the clip from me playing on the previous phone so that you could see the difference between the new one, the extreme frame rate, and the old one, which was the Ultra one. Going to number two, that's gonna be your phone lagging, and there are some reasons that can cause that. Number one, I would say poor processor. Um, yeah, if you don't have really strong phone, it's gonna be hard for phone to actually figure out, like render all the buildings, everyone around you, because you'll have a bunch of enemies around you and stuff like that. So that's number one reason of lags. Number two is probably overheating. That's also pretty big issue that phones have on this game, and I had that all the time, and it was not just overheating and lagging, it was also dimming down the screen over time. So for example, I could start with 100% brightness on my phone at the beginning of the game, but by the minute 20 I will have my phone dim itself down. Like literally I'm not touching anything, it's dimming itself down all the way to like, I don't know, 40% probably. So it's pretty dark. It's hard to see. So, and your eyes have to adjust every time, again and again and again. Like it's just it's really tough to play like that. But it's possible. I'm not saying that it's something that you cannot do. It's just if you want to be serious about this game and play competitive, you will have eventually to go to a better device. That there is no way out of that. And for me, when I was trying to figure out what device to select for myself, I was going off of that because I'm definitely interested in competitive fighting versus other teams, best teams, PMCO, and all stuff like that. And there you cannot just let your device dictate whether you're gonna win or lose the fight. That's impossible. Like you cannot do that. You will let down your team. You will not be able to like win major tournaments on the pro devices. That's actually one of the reasons why usually sponsors of tournaments, they give you an actual new device to play with. And guess what? Usually that's a phone with a huge screen. And if you're playing on something like I used to play with, which was the 7 Plus, and it didn't have that big of a screen, I believe it was like 4.7 inches. Getting used to a big screen is a big deal because you need to get used to actually move your fingers far away. So that's another thing there. As far as you've seen, I've died there, and I'm not sure if I would be able to see the guy like a pixel earlier, like 1 pixel earlier. I would be able to knock him. That's what I believe. But it is what it is. I'm not gonna brag about me dying. Now that's a clip on the new device, and you can see how smooth the picture is, and I definitely feel that it's way easier to play on that. In the beginning it was super hard to do that, to even move on the new device. Like first 2 days it was super odd. I was getting used to, but now it's pretty much perfect. Now the other reason why you wanna consider a better device for yourself is the battery capacity. Right now I'm playing without charging the phone for 3 hours, and before it used to be an hour and a half, and as soon as you put your phone on charge it starts to heat up faster, and with that here comes the issue. It's lagging, it's dimming down the screen, and in my case I felt like it was harder to actually move your fingers around the screen when the phone was hot. So in this phone, a new phone, I'm not saying it's not overheating, it's getting hot, but it's never lagging because of that, and it's never, literally, never dimmed down on me yet. I've had this phone for 2 weeks, I've never had this issue yet. So there was three main phones that I was considering for PUBG Mobile. Number one, it was of course the iPhone 11 Pro Max. That's a really expensive device, but most of the pro players were saying that Apple products tend to be more stable in the game than Android product. I don't know whether it's related to the whether it's Android or Apple, or whether there are some other issues. The way the game is set up, I don't know really, but that's what I've heard a lot from pro players. iPhone devices are more stable in game, and over time they tend to be more stable than Android devices. Number two, that was an Android device, and that was something that a friend of mine used to play, and he's still playing that, and he never had any issues with that. Like literally, I didn't hear him complaining about his game lagging or some other shit going on. This phone already had and has included cooling system and battery capacity. Like right now, my new phone, I'm playing for like 3 hours, and I need to put my phone on charge. His phone was actually still like I believe 36%. That's what he was telling me. So the battery capacity is pretty huge. Now, the last phone that I was considering for myself, that was something that was designed for mobile gaming. That's ASUS ROG Phone 2. So it is basically like transformer, I would tell you. You can put a lot of gadgets on that on top, and you can of course put a special cooling system there, and triggers which are, I believe, are not allowed in the on the professional scene, and so on and so on. But again, the problem was, and I was able to see that, and that was pretty clear to me even in the stream watching the pro player playing on this phone. Over time, after like 6 months, the phone started to have some kind of lags. It was not stable. It was not really great device to play and to stream on. Now, you understand why I didn't pick ROG Phone. That's for sure. That ASUS, unfortunately, I decided not to go with that device. The priority was for me is iPhone 11 Pro Max, but there was a few issues with that. Number one was it's super expensive. Like I believe it's really overpriced, and I cannot consider paying almost like the PC money for a phone, and then in a few years it's not gonna be as compatible as the new device that they're gonna come up with. So that was a no-go. Plus, I've heard from one of the pro players that as well that device had a little bit weird sensitivity to it. So the screen sensitivity was a little odd, and even the players that purchased that device, they had to get used to that weird sensitivity. So I decided not to go with that one. And the last one option was the Samsung Note 10 Plus, which a friend of mine had no issues whatsoever. But he always could feel the rendering. If the team was approaching us, he would have rendering, he would have lag. I had that on my 7 Plus, but surprise, surprise, I don't have that right now. And I went and bought iPhone XS Max. That's an actual beast, I believe, right now for the budget. Because I bought that refurbished. You cannot buy that new, unfortunately, or fortunately. And I spent like a little over 600 bucks. For 650, I literally got for myself a screen protector, which is also really important for playing PUBG. And that's been like literally for the last 2 weeks. That's been amazing. No rendering, no lags, no dimming down. Battery 3 hours, and I can record videos without any issues. No lags on screens whatsoever. So literally, I would recommend to anyone who wants to upgrade their device right now for the year 2020, go with an XS Max. That's gonna be a great device for you to play this game, even on professional level, I believe, because the screen is big enough. You will get used to those big screens. That's it on the phone topic. All I can ask you about is to like this video if that was helpful to you, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget I'm doing a giveaway on 250 subscribers, so if you want to win the Season 13 RP Pass, make sure to subscribe. And of course, the very last one, comment down below and let me know what device do you use right now to play PUBG and for how long you've been playing on that device. That's really important because maybe I made a mistake, who knows. But so far, enjoy those chicken dinners and see you in the next video.